All right, so we're back here. Couch coaches, don't adjust your dial. It is a Thursday night. This is not a Tuesday night here on
Yeah.
Couch Coach Live. We're doing a special Couch Coach Live this Thursday. We had the schedule NFL schedule release, so we'll be talking about that tonight. Got Maui in the building. What's going on, Maui?
Chill another week, just a different
Yes,
day.
yeah, right. Just different day. And we're joined by Rob, uh, football and
Right.
chill pod, our guy, our guest tonight. What's going on, Rob?
I'm excited to go over. We did a little bit of schedule last night on my show, and I'm excited to dive a little bit deeper into the schedule with you guys.
Yeah. Last night was fun. We burned the midnight oil and
Yep.
dissected 18 weeks of NFL season this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So when we talk about the schedule release, we'll talk about week one, our primetime game, the games that we're looking for, the ones that we circle on the clock. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cue that intro, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're back here, Couch Coach Live. So, without further ado, the schedule was released, and I know about you guys. Maybe because I'm just a single guy. This is like what I look forward to. I plan the rest of my year based on the NFL schedule. I'll be real with you. I try to kill two birds with one stone in certain situations. Like if I have a family member that lives in a certain part of the country, it'd be a perfect time to visit them, kind of kill two birds with one stone. So I definitely look forward to the schedule release. It's one of the highlights for me personally. So
Right.
without further ado, so we have this is now deemed the biggest season of NFL history. Obviously now with an 18-game regular season, every team will be playing 17 games. So this season will start on September the 9th, week one of the NFL season. So, fellas, I'm gonna go around the horn. What's the week one games that you're looking forward to watching? I'm gonna go with you first, Rob. Who you got?
So one that one that intrigues me a lot is that Browns Chiefs game. Week one, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see who Baker Mayfield really is. He's had his ups and downs throughout the first 3 or 4 years of his career so far. They added some good weapons. They added JOK on defense. See if that defense can come together and really wreak havoc the way that we expect them to, or that we have expected them to the last couple of years. And then obviously the opening game of the season, Bucks and Cowboys. I'm always excited to see the Cowboys get the brakes beat off of them. So.
And I approve that message. Who you got? Who you got, Maui? What's your week one?
Man, it's a few. Once I really start diving in, I was like, damn, it really is a lot of for week one. It's a lot of games. I mean, look at that. What is it? The Jets and the Panthers game. I was like, man, it's going to be really interesting right there. You know what I mean? Let me see. I got me being a Steeler, I got the Steeler game also to see if we playing the Bills. So I really want to see where we go. I was trying not to be biased, but I know you two are going to be biased through this whole thing, and I get it. And then I want to see what Fitzpatrick can do. You know what I mean? Because he's starting, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
as of now, yes.
As of now, right.
I definitely. It's a lot of games. I want to see, the Seahawks and see what's going on with Wilson and the Seahawks. I want to see Wentz with the Colts. There's a lot of games. You know what I mean? Is Barrows back yet? I don't think he's back yet, right? Will he be?
He'll probably be healthy enough to play potentially because he got hurt in November. So he probably will be able to. He
right.
might. He should be able. He might be able.
It's just a lot of games that I'm just, to see what the Lions, see if the 49ers, they're healthy. So see how they're going to do against the Lions. See if golf is going. It's just a lot of games, bro. It's just a lot of games. I see it's a decent week one. But definitely want to see about them. The Cowboy and the Bucks game. Definitely can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. I think that was, and it's funny because I was hoping Washington was gonna get that Thursday night draw. I part of me was thinking we was gonna get that, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a good game.
That's it, man. It's a really good week one from what I see of games.
Yeah. So the one I'm looking for, it's a couple of them. As
Right.
Rob alluded to earlier, the Browns versus the Chiefs. I think that could be a potential AFC Championship game potentially.
Oh no.
Um, um, another interesting one, which is funny, the Bears and the Rams play again on Sunday Night Football. I think that's going to be another where these are two potential playoff games. I mean, two playoff teams facing off in LA. So I like that as the opening Sunday Night Football game. Like you said, I do like the Steelers and the Bills. That's another two teams that we definitely think are going to make the playoffs in the AFC and could be contenders in the AFC. They're in that kind of that tier, that second there. They're kind of jockeying for that first tier spot in the AFC as far as Kansas City is up here, as everybody else is below them. So you're looking at that could be a early jockeying position type of matchup for that. And then obviously Washington versus the Chargers. I think you have last year's offensive rookie of the year, Justin Herbert, comes 3,000 miles to DC to face the defensive player, the defensive rookie of the year, Chase Young. This is this what's this quarterly matchup with the Chargers. I think that'll be a very good start. 1:00 game, so that's definitely be a great one. There's another one that's we talked about the Browns, and then obviously the Cowboys and the Bucks. Always a good thing, as far as to have a situation. And like you said, Rob, it'll be a situation where Friday morning you'll be hearing the multitude of excuses of why things didn't happen.
Yeah.
And and then they'll try to say, well, y'all gonna lose to the Chargers. I can feel what's gonna happen on September the 10th already.
Yeah, it's the same thing every year, no matter what. Cowboys to the Super Bowl. That's what we hear every May and June, and then they go on a slide the first couple, and then it's Dak doesn't have this, and Dak ain't got that, and he needs a coach, and I've heard it all for 28 years, and I'm just excited to see what they can come up with on September 10th. I did have the Jets and Panthers as an honorable mention. I'm not excited for it as far as like, I think it's going to be a good game. Yeah, I'm excited to see Sam Darnold go up against the Jets. Even though that whole coaching staff isn't the same, there's no bad blood per se between Darnold and the Jets team right now. But still, him potentially going and playing New York again. And I'm staying away from any Washington games for these upcoming categories we talk about. Because we are going to get into it, and I'm going to be able to go through, get a majority of them a little more in depth.
I'm interested in the Jags also. Is Watson going to be there, or is he going to have to sit out for a while?
At this point, you don't know. It's in limbo. I mean, I'll put it this way. Today is May 13th. I would probably more likely would think he's not going to be playing.
Well, they said he's close to supposedly settling some stuff. So,
yeah,
you think they're going to have to suspend him if he settles or something?
Potentially. I mean, they might suspend him. I mean, how Roger Goodell do. I think it's a potential. It just depends. I think, but if I had to put like as far as a number on it, it's probably about a 95% chance he'll be suspended at week 1. So I don't think he would even play in week 1. And the way things are going, he may not even be in Houston. It could be a situation where he's playing somewhere else. If things happen and the price goes down to a point where maybe maybe we can explore those options again.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I want to see how the Falcons. I mean, it's just a lot of question marks. That's what makes it interesting because the Falcons, and then they got a new coach, right? Arthur Smith. Like, it's just really after all the mistakes they made last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's really
week 1 is always really interesting because we can go off of what teams were the previous season, which is where we're getting most of our our picks from like the games to watch, what we think are going to be really good games. But week one, just so many questions. You don't know who's who. So many new faces, new places. You don't know if teams like Kansas City, if they're going to have a slump. Are the Browns still going to be good? Just what kind of steps is Tua going to take? So week one is always very, very interesting. Obviously, once we get into, week 8, week 9, week 10, we kind of figure out who is who and things become a little bit more clear. But week one is always very interesting.
Yep. Even the Saints, Winston, you know what I mean? Like It's just a lot. It's a lot. I'm just throwing them out there.
Yeah. So moving on along, fellas. The primetime games to watch. So we're talking about Thursday night games, Sunday night games, Monday night football games. Which ones you got, Cruz, that's on your radar?
So I got a few, pretty much any NFC West matchups. Yeah. A lot of them are on primetime games, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games. Pretty much any of those I will be tuned in, especially if it's a Seattle game. I'm not a Seahawks fan, but I've always kind of rooted for. I am a huge Russell Wilson fan. You already know. If you don't know, DK Metcalf will be the best receiver of all time by the time his career is said and done. Y'all need a block mode. He's continuing on his stuff today.
Yeah, right.
Man,
right,
he didn't even miss a step from last night. Right. I do like. I'm looking at the KC Baltimore matchup in week 2. I think that's early enough that we still don't know what both teams, well, mainly the Ravens, what they're going to be. We pretty much know. We know what Kansas City is. They all they did was the rich got richer. When it comes to the Chiefs, they got Mahomes more protection with trading for Orlando Brown. So that game's really interesting. Obviously, Rams and Seahawks in week 5. That's the Thursday night game. That's going to be a good game. Rams at 49ers. If that team is healthy, we don't know what the Niners are going to look like. Is it going to be Jimmy G rocking, under center of that game, or are they rocking with Trey Lance? We don't know at the moment. That could potentially be a good game.
Yeah, big time. Who you got, Mal? Your primetime games.
I got 4 joints. I got Dallas versus the Bucks, Bills versus the Chiefs. It's always it's crazy. The Chiefs versus the Ravens, and definitely the Bucks versus the Pats. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I had that one too, but again, it's for the reasons of, like I said, the Jets and Panthers. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think the Pats are going to get steamrolled, but it's just going to be cool seeing Brady go back to Gillette Field and do what he did to so many teams. The Bill Belichick was smiling. Now he's going to know what it feels like.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a week 4 matchup, which it's going to be crazy because you think about it. The only team that Tom Brady hasn't beat is the Patriots. So history, this could be a potentially a historic night potentially. When you look at it,
schedule looks real simple. Like even with a buy at, I was like, well, damn, they definitely gonna be in you know what I mean?
Right.
But I heard something about their travel is gonna be crazy. Because don't they play the Rams before they play them or something like that?
Who
the Bucks. Yeah, I think they played the.
My memory serves correct. I think so.
I think the Rams, and then they have to fly all the way.
Hey man, it's
gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So
what y'all think the score is gonna be?
It's going. You know what? Tom Brady could put up some points on that defense. And I'll be surprised. He'll probably put up about 28 to about 35 points.
It's going to be like a 38-7, 38-10 ball game.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be close at all. The Pats are going to get steamrolled unless Cam Newton is 2015 Cam Newton or our guy McCorkle just, balls out. Whoever ends up being the quarterback that game. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be close at all.
It could be a situation where he gets pulled. You remember, like when Cam Newton got pulled in that San Francisco game. That might be eerily similar potentially. So the first Monday Night Football game I'm looking forward to, and this is not because Mo's here, but Dallas versus Philly. That's gonna be an interesting matchup. That's gonna kind of set the tone for the NFC East at that particular point, because I think, at that point, with us, we don't play really the teeth of our division to December. But I think that's going to kind of set the tone in week 3 potentially. Buffalo versus Tennessee. And that's going to be an interesting Monday Night Football matchup. This could be another one where it may not be the most sexiest thing to watch on a Monday night, but it's gonna be, if you're a football guy, you'll appreciate this matchup. Couple Sunday night football games, as we alluded earlier, the Bucs versus the Patriots in week 4. Kansas City versus Baltimore. I think that could be another one where we look at a potential AFC championship game potentially. Then Buffalo versus Kansas City in week 5. And then I think a game that I'm really looking forward to, and this is down the road. This could be kind of, maybe I don't want to say a do or die game, but it's be a game that kind of set the tone going into like Thanksgiving essentially. You got the Ravens versus the Browns, where they're going to be jockeying for position in the AFC North. So that's going to be definitely a good matchup. Not late in the season, but that part of the season. So those are ones I'm looking forward to on those. But yeah, and Thursday night, some good slate of games as well. So that'll be a great Thursday night lineup. Is pretty good, like to a point where it used to be. And I used to hate and it's funny because I remember when they started doing the Thursday night games, they wanted to do divisional games and they all sucked. But now you got like a nice little eclectic mix, and this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting Thursday night games. And I think, those Sunday nights and Sunday night games, which at this point, they all can be flexed out.
Yeah.
And we'll allude to one of the interesting tidbits of our schedule when we get to it, how it could kind of be in that balance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like Thursday night and Monday night games are kind of on the same level now, because I was going through them, and even for the past few years, Monday night games haven't been all that great from not only the gameplay, but for the people who apparently watch Monday Night Football for the commentary. They don't like the announcers. So Sunday night game really is the premier. Those are where all the good games are at. Thursday night is slowly creeping up, and I feel like they're on the cusp of taking over as far as actually good quality games, being ahead of Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I actually like the Monday Night Football crew in a weird, bizarre way. I like them.
I'm okay with.
I like Reese. I like Riddick. I like Louis Riddick, and then Steve Lisi.
I do like Louis Riddick a lot. I'm impartial to them because I don't watch the game for the crew. I watch the game for the game, but that's just me.
Oh man, it's got to be the crew, man. I'm telling you, you got to come east, man. You will love how we cover the game. Well, Bram, D Hall, and Julie. Oh man, I think you'll find it to be a treat. Like you probably listen to it. You'll probably listen to it on the radio, but then you'll have it playing on television. But you'll have them, commentate. But yeah, I seen you something, Will.
Well, I'm hoping because
you'll love them.
Not to get completely sidetracked, but this is the last year of the NFL and DirecTV contract.
Yeah.
And the way that every other league is right now, for example, the NBA, they have, you can buy just the team package. Same with MLB. You can buy just the team package on Amazon Prime, on a bunch of different things that you don't have to have that any certain cable provider. So I think I'm 99% sure that they're not going to renew the deal. They're going to go towards something like that. And I cannot wait. Yeah. I will pay whatever amount of money I need to pay to be able to watch every Washington game from week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right. And like I said, and I like it too now, like you said, because it's going to give you that a la carte type of feel. And that's what you really need instead of, because like that, yeah, get a 5 star. Well,
I have one. I'll text you, Mo.
Right. We'll group chat.
Fez is watching.
Correct. But yeah, And that's the thing too, where you, like you said, instead of getting a package for all the teams, like in your case, I don't care about anybody else, especially except for maybe the bye week. But like you said, I don't care about anybody else.
Do they charge when they do? I mean, I know you say you're gonna pay with whatever the amount of money. You think it'd be cheaper? Because I would do the same thing. They should have been did that. That make more sense.
Yeah,
I mean, trust me, I do not want to watch the Colts. Sorry.
It'll be so right now. For example, I'm a Padres fan. I live by Seattle, so I get very few Padres games. I did end up buying the whole MLB. I can watch any of the MLB games. I think it's $25 a month, or I could have paid $130 all at once to get just the Padres. Which in that case, it ended up being cheaper because of when I bought it. We're already like 2 months into the season, so it ended up being cheaper that way. But if I would have bought it before the season started, buying for just the Padres would have been cheaper.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's good for you, like, because you know, as far as you being there. But yeah, like if I was to ever move from the official home of the Washington football team training camp facility, then I'll probably do the same. So
yeah,
I digress. So, fellas, let's go into more of a personal part of the recap for you guys. The games that you're looking forward to, the ones that I wouldn't say you circling, but you got your eye on. I'm gonna go with you first, Cruz. Who you got?
So outside of any Washington games, I got Pats Bucks again, just for the revenge factor. I got Cowboys Bucks again, just because I think it could potentially be a good game. I am looking at if to get one of my games is that Week 13 game against Las Vegas Raiders, because hopefully, you know, if everything goes according to plan, me and you will both be there, Coach, at whatever the stadium is called. I don't know the name of the stadium, but we're gonna be there.
Yeah,
and that might be a potential division clinching game. We never know. But those are the games I'm most excited for.
Yeah, hell of a day to to order some NFC East champion gear. Be a hell of a day. It'd be here before Christmas.
Yep.
Actually, you know
I am trying to be on my best behavior, you two. I'm trying.
So, who you got, Maui? Your game's looking forward to?
Okay. I put I'm a little petty, so it's a bunch of revenge games. Jets versus the Panthers. The Rams versus the Colts. I don't know how the game's gonna be, but I'm just really interested to see how everything play out. Definitely the Pats versus the Bucks. And then me being a Steeler, so I'm gonna pick Week 18 Steeler versus the Browns.
Yeah.
That could be. I think it will end up being a very pivotal game.
Right. That's why I picked it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it'll be a pivotal game for the Steelers, just because I don't know what Big Ben what he's gonna be looking like, and with I don't know. So I think it'll be a chance for the Steelers to kind of spoil either a division title or a playoff spot altogether for Cleveland.
Yeah. And I said this once again last year, this could be a Sunday Night Football January 9th flex. I'm just saying, hey, I'll put it out there again. It could be a January 9th.
Now, you did call that pretty early too in the season last year.
Right. So I do it now in May. I mean in May to say, hey, January 9th, that's the the final game of the season. It's gonna be the Browns versus the Steelers.
Man, so those are games I'm looking to see, man. Like I said, the Jets versus the Panthers, revenge games, Rams versus the Colts. You know what I mean? What's the Rams coach name? I want to mess it up.
Sean McVay.
Right. So he blamed it on his quarterback. So don't you think he has something to prove with the quarterback he has now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, just.
Yep. So Maz is more so I'm more so of when the games happen. Like I'm liking these international games, the London games, the Jets versus the Falcons. Big Ben meets Big Ticket, aka shout out to our guy Makai Becton, 15 South Oak. Anyway, and I'm so glad that we didn't get that because you remember that's an Atlanta home game for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I was hoping we won't go to London. I was like, I don't ever want to go back to London ever again. Don't ever put us there again. That game sucked. Then October 17th, we got Miami versus Jaguar. So Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of the future, and his Goldilocks head east in a 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Rob, at 6:30 in the morning, you'll get to see Trevor Lawrence face the Miami Dolphins. Tua versus.
Not sure if I want to, but Tua, at least I know I had the opportunity if I wanted to.
Tua versus Trevor Lawrence. This is a Alabama Clemson type of national championship field potentially in London.
Wow.
Then the Thanksgiving games. Could we be seeing Justin Fields versus Detroit Lions in a Thanksgiving Day matinee potentially?
We could be.
Could be Justin Fields. I don't know. He'll probably be a few starts in potentially at that point. And then the Raiders at the Cowboys. We'll all be Raiders fans that night.
Yep.
And then the nightcap, the Bills versus the Saints. I think that would be kind of one of those. That's gonna be kind of one of those ones that you might have ate too much. The gang will be watching you potentially. Because at 8:30, Jameis Winston and versus Josh Allen and them boys. I think it'll be a good game, but I think we all be in a food coma at that point. So it's like, but and then Christmas Day. I think Christmas Day is fun. Cleveland goes to Lambeau Field. I bet it's gonna be a winter wonderland. Your boy Baker Mayfield, Rob.
Yup.
Versus
Jordan Love. Oh, I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I love Baker Mayfield.
He loves Baker. You think I like him? He loves Baker.
Oh my God!
I want nothing but good things. If Baker were to beat us in the Super Bowl, I would not be that upset.
I hope y'all get him as a quarterback.
I don't know. I'm happy. I wouldn't be mad at it
too.
Look at you. No, y'all had to think about it.
No, because he would really,
For him, it's more of his attitude. I like his attitude and the way he approaches a lot of things. I like his cockiness.
And he would probably fit well with us.
I think he would.
I'm almost like, as far as a quarterback with that type of moxie.
Yep.
I think that actually will potentially work.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It does.
We saying it now, but hey,
real.
And then that keeps him from throwing 4 touchdowns on you guys in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Hey, he had one good season. I'm happy for him. You know how many coaches he had, and they gave him everything.
He's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting one. And then so that's gonna be a good one. The Browns versus the Packers on Christmas Day. I think that's gonna live up to the bill.
That Baker Mayfield versus Jordan Love matchup is gonna be phenomenal. Or Blake Bortles, I don't know.
Might be Blake Bortles.
Might be Blake Bortles.
We might have a Blake Bortles at the dark.
Oh God!
Once again,
please no.
Hey,
please no.
Hey, it's gonna be the gift that keeps on giving. Wouldn't that be something? He would play on Christmas Day.
It would be something. I don't know if it's something good, but it would be something.
Dashing through the snow. And it's probably gonna snow and everything.
Yeah,
that's most
likely going to snow.
Yeah, and then Carson Wentz goes to Arizona. It's gonna be that electrifying Cardinals offense with Kyler Murray. That's gonna be a fun game as well. I think that could be because Thanksgiving be the heavy food. Christmas is the little heavy hors d'oeuvre type of variety on my spectrum. So. Could
potentially be a very good game. And I don't think Carson Wentz I don't think he's going to have a lot to do with how good of a game it is. I think that Colts defense is going to keep Kyler Murray in check, and that's what's going to make it a good game. Carson Wentz is going to have to do just enough to win.
We might see Jacob Eason or Sam Ellinger. I mean, you think about it, it's December. Carson Wentz don't hold up too much in December.
You're right. Once it gets cold,
I'm just saying.
He started breaking down.
Yeah, we're gonna really find out. Hopefully Stu ain't listening to us, but it could be. I'm sorry, I don't want to wish that on you, but you might have Jacob Eason. Might be potentially at that point.
But you know what? I don't feel bad for Colts fans. Even if that were to happen, I don't feel bad for them because they had a 20+ year run of Peyton Manning going straight into Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have had everywhere from Patrick Ramsey to Jason Campbell to Todd Collins to Rex Grossman playing under center for us. So I don't feel bad for them if they have to suffer at quarterback for a few games.
Yeah, we've had somebody that's in the U.S. Is he still a representative in the House? Remember Heath Schuler?
Heath Schuler, yeah, he is.
That was Republican from North Carolina.
That was my first ever Washington jersey when I was a kid.
Oh man, I know we're going off track. So yeah, Heath Schuler, and he was number 5. And then I got number 5, but my 5 is Colt Brennan, man. R.I.P. Colt Brennan, man.
Yeah,
that was tough. Hearing about that, tough. Man.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going through all that.
Me neither. I knew about the accident and everything. I figured everything was straight, but I didn't know he was, was even in the facility and in rehab. But yeah. And it's funny. I think when you look at that type of stuff, I didn't even realize he's only a year older than me.
Wow.
What happened to him? You said he was going through some stuff. What happened?
Yeah, he was in a drug rehab. He was in a rehab facility, and what ended up happening? They found him dead. What was it? Tuesday?
Sometime earlier this week.
It was early this week. Yeah, he died. Yeah, I'm like, that's. And it's funny because I remember the only game that he played in was that Hall of Fame game. He torched the Broncos and that man. I think it was the Colts. We played the Colts. But yeah, he was a beast, man. Definitely use R.I.P. to our guy, man. But so transitioning to the Washington football schedule. We'll make it brief, potentially. We'll see.
We'll see.
So, Rob, your thoughts on the schedule?
So I do like our schedule a lot, the way it lines up. And again, we talked about this last night on our show. We went through all 17 games with Jurg and Barge as well. So we have what we think our final records are going to be. It's a very favorable schedule. We don't have a ton of great teams we're playing. We have Buffalo in week 3, Kansas City in week 6, and Tampa in week 10, which I would say, me personally, other than the Kansas City game, all 3 of the Buffalo and Tampa are winnable games. If we play right, if Fitzpatrick plays smart, doesn't try to go and be the hero, he does what he needs to do. Those are very winnable games. But we have teams on the schedule like Atlanta, who knows what their offense has been loaded, for the last 40 years, and they haven't been able to do anything. Their defense is god awful. So, who knows what kind of team we're going to be facing in week 4. The Saints in week 5, again, we don't know what Jameis Winston is. He going to be, balling out 5,000 yards, 30 touchdown Jameis Winston, or is he going to be 30 pick Jameis Winston? Broncos, as of right now, don't have Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. So, again, seems like a very winnable game. Week 7, Green Bay. At the moment, they do have Aaron Rodgers, but at that point, they might not have Aaron Rodgers. So, again, even if they do, I still think it's a winnable game. We got the Panthers in week 11, and they're kind of a mess right now. Seattle is not, the Legion of Boom Seattle in week 12. I think, again, very winnable game. The only thing that scares me is that it's a Monday night game, and we don't do well on Monday night. Week 13 in Vegas, I think, obviously, very winnable game. And then our last 5 games are all division opponents. You go Dallas, Philly, and New York. We go 3-2, 4-1 in that stretch. That's locking up the division.
Yeah. Any thoughts on our schedule, Maui?
Yeah, man. Like I really got y'all doing well. Like one of the top teams in the league. You know what I mean? Only ones if I had to pick, I don't think y'all would beat this is just me, the Bills, Chiefs, and Bucks. But I still feel like everybody else y'all should beat. You know, I don't believe in the Giants. I don't believe in the Eagles. I don't really know about the Cowboys, but you said that Dak is coming back. So I do have y'all maybe losing a game from the Cowboys, maybe. That's just me being, you know what I'm saying? The Packers, we don't know. You know what I mean? I gave them a game that they may, they may beat you, but we don't know. It's all a bunch of question marks. Look like me, I should just come out on top, be one of the top, if not 5 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Then y'all go hard at the end. And most teams that's inspired like y'all defense was last year usually go out very strong towards the end. And I felt like if they keep that motivation towards the end of the season, which I really believe that I think out of all the teams that's in that division, it should be you guys, and I think y'all should come out on top. I feel like y'all gonna be one of the top 4 to 5 teams in the league. I only got y'all really losing probably 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. Actually, I had them 12-5.
Me too.
Everybody's laughing. I'm like, hey,
how can you
laugh now and just cry my 2021 NFC East Championship shirt.
Just to jump in, because I know you two about to do your thing. If I just don't know about Fitzgerald, I feel like looking at the schedule, if I was the GM or something, I'm trying to get me one of them big quarterbacks to go. I'm trying to get a quarterback and then have Fitzgerald, to back up. Seriously, because the schedule looked like it favored you guys. You know what I mean? Am I tripping or something? Am I wrong? That's why I looked at it.
Not at all.
No, I mean, for the most part, because I'm hoping Watson can, maybe the price goes down,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it can be somewhat like a Dogecoin after Saturday Night Live.
That's still a sore subject.
It's
way too soon for that.
Who you telling? I know. I'm just saying. I understand. I was like, I thought I was gonna be like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places Sunday morning on the beach, drinking wine. Like
you're right.
He was like drinking.
I was already planning what I was gonna do with my money. Like I had everything planned out. We were good to go. I think. I think by week 7, maybe Aaron Rodgers is extremely unhappy and he just refuses to play for Green Bay. Maybe his price will go down a little bit. Maybe we might be able to swing Aaron Rodgers, get him for 3-4 seasons, maybe. But we definitely need to address the quarterback position. But I think we're in a good spot. We made additions in other spots that'll help the quarterback because, again, we went 7-9 with 4 quarterbacks with 1 weapon in Terry McLaurin and a very good backfield. Adding Curtis Samuel, adding Adam Humphries, adding your boy out of North Carolina.
Yep.
I think we did enough. That Fitzpatrick, this is without a doubt the most talented offense Fitzpatrick has ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get a Pro Bowl. I think it's going to be a Pro Bowl season for him, in which will finally make him eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. I have how important is your bye week? Like if you have an early, what would you rather have? Where would you want your bye week? Because you seem like you guys got a week 9 bye week. I thought, to me, that would be good. How do y'all? Where would y'all want your bye week if you had your pick?
It's perfect because normally, I don't know if you remember this, Rob, but when you go back in the pantheon of our illustrious history, when we have a bye week kind of in the middle of the season, that's when we do pretty good. Like
2012.
2012, 2020.
Right.
Yep. 2012, we were 3-6 going into the bye week.
Yeah. I think any team would. That's why I would always want mine maybe after mid-October, if anything, you know.
If I had to choose, I would want my bye week probably between week 11 and 13, just because later in the season, I feel like is better for that push, because if you're in the right position, you get that extra week of rest. You can really make a push. I like where our bye week is this week because again, we got Denver week 8, which I'm not counting my chickens yet, but it should be a relatively good game. They're not a powerhouse. We're not going up against Peyton Manning or John Elway. We're going up against Drew Lock at the moment. And then we got 2 weeks to prepare for Tom Brady at home.
Right.
We don't have to travel anywhere. Give Chase Young and Fitzpatrick and Curtis Samuel, give all them that week of rest. And Ron Rivera goes into the office, on November 1st. Start watching film, start putting together a game plan. You got 2 weeks to prepare for the defending Super Bowl champs, who you gave a hell of a game with a 4th-string quarterback who a month prior was taking college classes on the couch. Imagine what you could do with 2 weeks of prep with an established quarterback and those weapons.
Correct. Yeah. And I think it's a perfect timing of it because, I hate when you get those bad weeks early, when you get like those September buys and October buys, and I'm like, nah. I definitely like that as well. Other takeaways I kind of liked about this the schedule is like obviously the bye week, and then we also kind of got a semi-bye week in week 2, in a Thursday night football game against the Giants, so that helps as well. And that gives us 10 days to play, Buffalo. We got to go up to Buffalo, so that definitely helps. And then it's the fact that we got Mahomes and Brady at home, which I think, we talked about it yesterday, we'll probably split one of the. I don't think we can get both of them, but I think we can split. And then the division, the 5 straight games in the division, that's crucial. I mean, that's one of the things, like you said, that's when how the division is going to be won. Yep. And it really, and that's when and that's when the battle really starts. Like we talked about Vegas, that's when you celebrated for 24 hours, and you just got to get ready for this war. Yep. Because at this point, this is going to be your playoff. This is when the playoffs really begin.
Yeah.
For this team, regardless of the record, and that's a beautiful thing about it too. Where even if we're below 500 at that point, potentially, if I doubt if that's going to happen. But there still be an opportunity where you can kind of gain ground.
Yeah.
In those divisions. Then the Ron's revenge game, November 21st. That's gonna be interesting going to Carolina. Ron Rivera coming back, and I know Ron's gonna need a little. Ron has his tough facade that we love, but it's gonna be a very emotional game for him because, and that's why I saw when he left and there was a no dry eye at his exit conference. I was like, if we need him. And I even said that even though we caused him to get fired, essentially.
Yeah, we did.
We caused that firing. So definitely shout out to DH, but we ain't gonna say his whole name out. But yeah. So I think that's gonna be a very emotional game. I think those guys are gonna run through a brick wall for him in this matchup. Also, Curtis Samuel come back. So I think that's going to be a good one. Yeah.
I really like the 5 straight division games, especially those first 4, the Dallas, Philly, because by the end of the season, obviously I don't want people to be hurt, and I hope nobody gets hurt, but reality of the league is, there's going to be injuries both for them and for us. But the teams are going to be paying attention to your division rivals. So we're gonna know what kind of teams those are, especially Dallas. Right now it's up in the air. Again, Dallas has always had weapons since Dak has been there. Dak has always had they've been making excuses for Dak year in and year out, and so finally you're putting everything together. First it was, he came in with the line, he came in with the running game, then it was his coaching, or he didn't have weapons. They went and got Amari Cooper. Then it was his coaching. You got one, people will say one of the best offensive minds in the game. If we're talking 2010, most definitely one of the best offensive minds. We're in 2021 now. I think the game has passed Mike McCarthy a little bit. So we really don't know what kind of team Dallas is going to be, and that defense was god awful. It was historically bad, not just one of the worst in Dallas history. It was one of the worst in league history. You know, you can hype up the hiring of Dan Quinn all you want, but one coach, just like one player, isn't going to make a difference on your defense. The defensive coordinator isn't going to make a huge difference, and I think the gap between the best defense in the league, or the best defense in the division, which we have, and their defense is much further than the gap of their offense and our offense. I think we're a lot closer matched up with Dallas offensive wise than they are defensive wise matched up to us. So if we can get them at the right time, if they're on that little downslide, you know, we could. I don't think we're going to win both. I think we're going to go 3-1 in that stretch. We'll get the 2 against Philly. I think we'll get 1. We'll probably win the Sunday night game at Dallas.
Yeah, the Philly's going to be an interesting one. That's the rock, paper, scissors matchup, and hopefully it will draw the rock. So, bro, I can't. But I literally thought that was a joke when he said that rock, paper, scissors mess. I thought it was a joke. It's because I seen it on TikTok. So then I had to like verify the source. Like, all right, is this real? He literally was talking about it's competing in rock, paper, scissors. I was like, wow.
So Rob, what do you think your record's going to be?
14-3. I have us losing. I have us losing to Buffalo, to Kansas City, and one of the Dallas games.
Oh,
yeah.
If we didn't have that bye week going into the Tampa game, I'd probably have us losing that game. But I think that extra week of prep is really going to help.
Yeah. 12-5. So I got them losing to the Giants on Thursday night, New Orleans, Denver, Tampa, and then Dallas on December the 12th, and we'll beat them the day after Christmas on Sunday Night Football. You know, so
I got Bills, Chiefs, Bucks, Packers, and Cowboys.
Yeah,
and like I said, the Packers and Cowboys are question marks, man. I just don't know. I just feel like you got to win the games you're supposed to. You know, it's easy to lose to. We all know the Bills, Chiefs, and Bucks. If they win one of those games, that's a real big motivation of they supposed to be there. But that's why I just put those there because I'm looking at them. They should beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But y'all can pull one of those out, and then I don't know about the Packers, and I just gave one of the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Because that's one of y'all.
Division games are always
I don't
wild.
I'm not a big Giants guy. I can't say it's. I know they creepy though. They sneaky, but
if they had any other quarterback.
And then Philly is just seemed like it's still some issues there.
Yeah, Philly is Philly right now.
And funny, and I was gonna bring it up yesterday on the show yesterday, and Jerg knows this as well. No, it's not Jerg, but Bars know it. But like Daniel Jones actually lives. I have a confession. Daniel Jones lives in my head rent free. You want to know why? As a Tar Heel fan, so Daniel Jones played 3 years at Duke. He beat us his sophomore, junior, and senior year. He beat us 3 times. He's beat us every time he started. He's never lost to us. So Daniel Jones lives in my mind rent free.
Yeah. That is, I didn't think about that.
So that's why it's kind of creepy of how this happened. And then like I had that loss on the Thursday night game. Then I'm thinking January 9th in Jersey. I think somebody else will probably be playing in that game. I think they'll be jockeying. Yeah, not jockeying, but more so of tanking for Howell potentially. Well, no. I think they'd be a lot better. I think that's probably gonna be Detroit. I think Detroit is gonna be the one that's gonna be tanking for Howell at this point. Yeah. Even though Washington is good. Jared Goff is solid. But I don't think they're gonna be don't think he's the Lions' long-term answer.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why they got all those draft picks for him. Yeah, that January 9th game, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be playing that game.
Yeah.
I think by that point they will have moved on because this is it. This is, and we said it yesterday too, that this is it for Daniel Jones. This is the year that he needs to prove that he's that dude. And I don't think he is. And so on January 9th, they're going to move on. They're going to start looking to see what they have in house and start prepping for next season.
Yeah. And then before we close out tonight, it's just weird how the schedule, when you think about it, the last game of the season is January the 9th. The Super Bowl is February the 13th. I'm like,
yeah.
The Senior Bowl is February the 5th. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if I like a 17-game season.
I'm telling you.
Because I look at it more from the player standpoint.
Yeah, me too.
Than even just as a fan. Because as a fan, yes, another week of football, cool. I love it. I'm down for it. I'm here. But the toll on the players' bodies that they're going to have to take, you don't get in. If you got a second bye week, I'd be a little more okay with it. But that's a whole nother week of football. And the most brutal sport on the face of this earth, probably, you could argue rugby was up there because same type of contact with no pads. But another week of hitting, getting hit, and with no extra bye week and I don't know if they ever figured out the whole pay situation. I know they were like going to cap the pay at a certain amount that, would be, I guess, good for a majority of the league. But people like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott wouldn't get anywhere near what they would make the other 16 games. But I don't think I like the 17-game season.
I don't either. And then the 3 preseason games really kind of throw you off because you're like, why won't you just have? And I understand. I know because of the money. And you losing out on the game, because I would rather prefer them having 2 preseason games and then essentially having 2 bye weeks to cover that. Yeah. And then,
I guess I would. Again, I look at it from a player standpoint and look at it as those bottom tier guys that are trying to make the team. They use that 3rd and especially that 4th game of the preseason to make the team. Now you guys are. Now they're getting one less opportunity to do that. I feel bad for them. I really do.
So my thing is, I'm curious about when is the dress rehearsal? Is it against? Would it be the 3rd game or is it the 2nd game?
It would have to be the 2nd game.
It wouldn't be against Baltimore.
No, because that's right before the start of the season. You don't want to risk anybody getting hurt.
That's true, and that's just weird. I mean, I know, and I'm glad we kind of talked about the kind of the negative effects of this, because a part of me, you're right, I do feel I'm really not a fan of it per se, because like you're saying, the preseason thing is it's interesting, 3 games, but it's just it's just weird.
The team that plays in the 2 teams that play in the Hall of Fame game for as long as we have 3 preseason games, they're going to benefit the most. Yep. Because they're going to use that, that their 3rd preseason game will be their 4th.
Yep. But yeah,
so use that as a dress rehearsal. But again, that's only 2 teams out of 32. Right.
I know this is crazy. How's the dress rehearsal going to be against? Do we play Cincinnati?
We do.
Yeah, Cincinnati is the 2nd. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about preseason, because my wife is a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
So man. That's our one game that we get to watch together, and she doesn't complain that all I do is watch football.
I mean, football is life.
That's what I said. So look, you knew this when you met me.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's it's one of those things where it's weird. It's such a love-hate relationship, because it's you get so excited. And you get a build up, and then they lose, and you feel kind of bad for a day or so. It was so funny. When we lost to Tampa Bay, it stung. I that Sunday I was off the whole day, but then I felt relieved Monday. I was like, okay, we ain't got to play nobody this week. And we ain't got to go to such and so place and win. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. And then the bye week, it's you get mixed feelings too, because you're like, oh, I'm glad, to give this guy some rest. But then part of you, Sunday night, you're like, oh, this is whack. Like, we're not playing. I tell you, it's such a build-up, bro. It's so weird. Like, it's so weird how like football gets you in your emotions like that. It's the most weirdest thing. It ain't. Because I can't even really compare it to a relationship, because at least with a relationship is a whole lot different. But compared to like football and like Washington situation, you're just
That's
like,
why you have to be more mature. Because see, about 15, 20 minutes ago, Rob said something. At least if Baker come to our team, he won't throw 4 touchdowns on it. And you got to have like a screen on you, or a guard, a grill, so that stuff won't bother you, man. Because that should have pissed you off. You're emotional.
Yeah, because I think it's just the build up. Like with me, I'm like a weird creature of habit.
Right.
So it's always a build up. I can sleep decently on Saturday, but it's hard to. But once I'm up on Sunday, cool. I'm ready. I might run some errands here and there, so I listen to our pregame shows. So I'm hearing it about 10 o'clock in the morning, getting myself ready. Game starts, and it's just like it's an all day thing. It's literally all day. Win or lose, it's an all day thing.
Man,
there's one thing I like about being on the West Coast is most of the Washington games for me start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's great. Man, right?
Yeah.
Because me personally, I've been numb since 18 or 2017. I've been numb, bro. Like ever since they, oh man, I've been numb. I'm like, and then like I've been numb. Just thinking about it. They left. What's the name? Got hurt. Oh my God. How do we don't have anybody? The Duck. Who the hell is the Duck?
Ducky. Yes.
I'm like, who the hell is the Duck? Oh my God. Juju done fumbled again. Oh my God. I'm numb, bro.
Yeah.
I'm numb.
And this is one thing where you it's just weird. And I think I'm actually glad I ain't in the East Coast. I mean, in the West Coast, because man, I would probably be up listening to them at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
like literally, I probably would be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, listening to our pregame shows, driving around. Because I normally do. I might go like to the store or whatever, grab some stuff for the game, and or ride around town or whatever, and listen to them intentionally. And I like, and then even after the game, I listen to the post game and the call in shows, how everybody that's like, damn, I feel the same way. So it was like kind of a, and then the press conference on Monday, you're like, all right, I'm telling you, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's so weird. Like, it's like, it puts you in a weird emotional state, but it's like, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Way, like bring on the chaos and the drama and,
and then the season's over so fast.
It is.
From we'll play the Chargers on September 12th, and then literally a month later, we're already quarter way done with the season.
Right.
And then you hit week 8, you're halfway done. Then you start getting to week 10, 11, 12. You're like, oh man, I have 3-4 weeks left of this. Yeah, at least like with baseball and basketball, you get 3-4 games a week. We get one.
Yep. Once a week, and
2 if you're unlucky. You got a Sunday and Thursday back-to-back games, but that's really it.
Yep. But I think that's kind of a good and a bad thing, because at least with basketball, you can get over a loss because you're like, all right, we just had a bad night.
Yeah, you got to.
We're on a back-to-back, but
yeah,
especially towards the end, where not the end, but like case in point, Carolina game right after Christmas. We all over here like, okay, well, I think tonight is the night. We're gonna win. We're gonna win the division. Rob, we were talking about it.
Yeah,
we're gonna get our shirts. We're gonna get our shirts after the game. Lost. Yep. And then you get these crazy playoff scenarios. Oh, if Dallas wins, they're in with a Washington loss. The Giants beat the Cowboys, and they, in the Washington football team loses. And I'm just like, yo, And then the Sunday night football game, the final game of the season, how nervous we were. And we did a show that day, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I was nervous as hell. Like I didn't show it. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I had such a fiery pit in my stomach. I was nervous. Like,
yeah, I had to go take a nap. I took a nap that day because that's all I was doing. Was just I would refresh Twitter, seeing if because I think that was we still didn't know who was going to start at quarterback.
Yes,
and we were still trying. I'm trying to find that out. And
is that the game where he dove into the touchdown?
No, that was against Tampa.
Yeah,
that was Tampa Bay. That was a playoff game. Oh man, I still watch that video from time to time.
Yeah, and then when Chase Young pointed his last name, I was like, oh man, like, and that's another thing too. Like after it's all said, when it's all said and done with, you with these memories. Yeah, and I was like, Monday, it might not have been the great thing to watch Sunday or Monday, but after time passed, I like, man, this is like. You just think about just imagine now, and then this year we're having a full attendance in the stadium.
Yeah,
like that place would have been electric. Like
if you wasn't watching that game, you had to, man, because he was balling, bro. Like he was like it was he was balling harder than everybody else that was on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't stop. I think some people actually gave up. He didn't stop,
Yeah, because at that game, at that point, that was when it was the closest. At that point, it was the 18-16. And I just kept on, and it was just like, I was so mad. When he
dove in there, I wish I'd have seen y'all face. Because I was sitting here like, I know he's losing his mind.
I said, we coming back. Because that's another thing too, where with that team, they fought to the end. It was grit. And that was like, I was like, man, because like Tom Brady was just picking us apart.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, like, but we keep on coming back, we keep on fighting. Then when that happened, because that was like, I think right at the end of the third quarter, and I'm like, we winning this game.
Yeah. I looked at my wife, I told her, I said, we're playing next week. We're playing next weekend.
Yeah, I felt like, when he did that.
Don't get too excited.
Like I said, if you have a young team that all they have to do is be inspired, bro, and they can do anything,
Yeah,
because I like that saying when you got young teams and they say those teams don't know any better.
Yep,
they don't know that they're not supposed to win that game. They don't know anything. They don't know how the league works. They believe they're in the game. They got a chance to win, and they're gonna go and play like it.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what you got to do. But yeah, man. So fellas, man, let's put a ball in this week's Couch Coach Live, man. Any final thoughts before we head out?
You got it, Rob?
I'll see you December 5th in Vegas.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Man. Great show. I'm happy to finally, do the show with you, Rob.
Same.
Especially, the subject matter of y'all favorite team, and I'm being on my best behavior. Man, just want to send out some love to my mom, man. She had surgery today. Everything went well. So just want to send, let everybody know she's doing okay and she's resting. But let's get ready for this season come up. I'm really trying not to talk anything. I have not a clue what my team is going to do. They got to prove something to me first.
Big time. Yeah, man. And also social medias, guys. Where they can find your social media. I'm going to you first, Rob.
Oh yeah, you already know where you can find me. FNC Pod on Twitter, Football and Chill Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. I don't really have anything big planned for the near future. But definitely keep staying in tune. I'm definitely working on some stuff. Me and Coach were working on some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have the details set out sometime soon and get that launched. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. We'll definitely we'll be announcing that very, very soon. We'll just kind of, keep that going. Maui, where they can find your social media?
Man, Deshaun Morgan, Facebook, DT Morgan 78, Instagram. You know what I mean? Here every week.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, follow the podcast, Couch Coach Live, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, the podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcast. So we will be back at our regular scheduled time on Tuesday. Maui, we might be watching your Los Angeles Lakers seizing on the brink as we broadcast live on next Tuesday. So we'll have a great time with that, and then I guess we gotta resurface this wing bet.
Hold on. First of all, you really gonna end the show that way? You really gonna end the show that way?
We gotta give him a tease for next week. For 5 more days. It's a tease. It's a tease.
Last year yet, man.
They never played. We go over this.
Rob,
like if they
we made a bet, and because his team choked up in the second round, he feel like he shouldn't pay. They stunk. But
so we
okay.
had but this year it's a potential. If you guys get in the 6th spot and the 3, that would be perfect because the Clippers and the Lakers in the first round potentially. LeBron come back, so you have to be in the play-in next week.
Yo, I don't treat you like that though, man. You
what?
So wrong.
No, stop. We got we got to tease it for next week.
Right. So I guess we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll be watching maybe potentially Golden State and LA potentially.
2 Akron boys.
Right. Wardell and LeBron. So this has been this week's Couch Coach Live, man. We'll catch you guys next week.
You're welcome.